Can men and women be friends? Well, let's be realistic for a second. If you're single, you can have all the friends that you want, male, female, whatever the case. It doesn't matter. But I think when you're in a relationship with somebody, if you've got friends of the opposite sex, you've probably got to set some boundaries, because if you've got a friend, for example, that you find remotely attractive and you form an emotional bond with them, where does that cross the line? Like where do you draw the line between friends and more than just friends because you're the opposite sex? Because I have lots of female friends who I perhaps have an emotional bond with and I talk about my problems to, but we're not more than friends because we're the same sex and we're straight. Like, I mean, you know, how do you think cheating starts, for example?
She's right. But that's something you should tell women, because most men don't have female friends. Meanwhile, women always have that one guy friend they met out of nowhere. And I can guarantee you he tried to make a move on her first before ending up in the friend zone. Today we're going to look at why men don't date modern women anymore. But before we get started, help us reach 1,000 likes on this video. And without further ado, let's get started.
A lot of my girlfriends will be like, oh, I'm not getting dates on Hinge. Like, I don't know why. Like, I'm getting so many matches, but no one's really taking me out. It's because these men are playing a numbers game. They are matching with so many other different people. They are kind of like half-assing their answers back to other people just to get rid of them in the queue. And then they'll take maybe one girl out, but you're one of like 20 that he's talking to. On Cuffed, it's only one match at a time, so I really feel like I don't have to worry about that as much, and you can really tell someone's being genuine and really paying attention to you and like engaging in conversation with you and not just being like, what's up? You're more likely to go on dates with that structure and based off like having actual conversations beforehand. So if the other ones aren't working for you, just saying.
After solo traveling for 1 month in Indonesia, my biggest piece of advice would be to not move around so fucking much. I have moved 9 times in a month, which is a fucking lot. And I'm currently at a homestay because I got back from a 2-week surf trip and I've just been feeling so burnt out. I'm sick. My body is like slow the fuck down. I had a big cry last night and I felt like absolute shit. And today my light is back. I'm feeling so refreshed and I've had so many little epiphanies because I just did not have time to process anything that has happened in the last month, which has been a lot because I've just been backpacking. I've been with people constantly. Like I just have not had a moment to myself, and fuck, I needed this so bad. Like I'm just gonna stay here for a week and recharge and journal and cry and do whatever the fuck I need. I've already just gotten back to so many people and just done so much this morning of what I've been needing to do for weeks and weeks and weeks. So just settle in one place for a little bit because you'll burn yourself out so fucking hard moving around that much. You should have seen me last night. It was crazy.
This is just your gentle reminder that being the chill girl in a relationship never gets you fucking anywhere. And take it from me, because I used to cosplay chill girl like it was my fucking occupation. Like I was getting paid to be chill. And looking back at all the times that I got fucking dogged on and I didn't stand up for myself and I just like swept that shit under the rug to keep the peace, I want to strangle. I literally want to beat my own ass. Because when people do some shit that pisses you off or kind of like disrespects you in a way, and you choose to stay silent about it just to keep the peace, bitch, you are digging your own grave. That is a self-inflicted wound. And I feel like for so long in my life, I would choose to not address the shit that was irritating me simply because I didn't want them to be like, oh, you're too much, you're needy, you're this, you're that. And it's like, fuck that. I gotta have my own back. I honestly just wanted to like cosplay big sister and like give the big sister advice. But truly, like that's something I would really tell my younger self. Fuck these men. Speak your fucking mind. Get what you deserve. Don't let them fucking put you through any bullshit. Love you.
There was a time period in my life where I was so obsessed with male attention that I think I was like annoying to be around. Like I'd be like hanging out with my friends. I'd be like on my phone texting a man, or like we'd walk down the fucking street and I'd be like, oh my God, he's so hot. I'd go to the bar and be like, who's hot here? Even if that like wasn't my intention, I'd be like, who's hot here that I can talk to? And I think it's because I always knew that men will always give you attention if they want to get in your pants. And it's easy to have that feeling of like friendship from them, but like girlfriends like really fill your cup. Like guys will like trickle a little bit in your cup. Like you got this much of like friendship. And then once they sleep with you, they don't give a fuck anymore. But girls, they're just like pouring in your cup all the time because they like care about your friendship. So I would always like reach out to men to like give me that feeling of friendship because I just didn't have like a solid group of girls. And if my one friend was busy, like I had no one to talk to. And now I have all these girlfriends and I'm like, if one of my friends is busy, it's okay. I'll text one of my other friends and we can talk and like have a little chit chat. And I don't feel the need to like be texting a man 24/7 because what the fuck do I need a man for when I got girls like this? The fuck?
Oh, hell no!
I want you to look at that heavily tattooed woman who travels around aimlessly, a woman who, from what I can tell, looks to be around 30 years old. This is the modern woman, a woman without purpose, who has no path to follow, who suffers emotional breakdowns and clearly seems unstable. When I see that, I see what female empowerment does to women. How many of them are worse off because of it than when they were in healthy relationships with a man? But of course, they called that the patriarchy. Notice that all the women who came forward feel this way. Women without direction, because that's something a man provides. That's why, gentlemen, a man is the one who determines a woman's direction and frees her from wandering around the world alone with no sense of purpose.
Women.
Hi everyone, I'm going to give you anti-dating advice. I am genuinely happiest when I am fully single, not dating, on my own, or in love. So I'm just going to hang out. You genuinely have no idea who you're going to end up with and where you're going to end up, so I don't put any rules or expectations on a partner that doesn't exist yet. I am a lover girl. I'm a hopeless romantic. I do believe in true love, so I'm like not worried about finding a boyfriend or a husband because I genuinely believe that like God has a plan for me and I will meet that person when I'm supposed to meet that person. I'm not going to miss out on meeting the love of my life because I didn't go out of my way to date people when I was 24. I don't actively date. I'm not on any apps. I've been on apps before and they know. But I also don't go on dates unless I'm already interested in the person before they ask me on a date. So I never go on dates, basically. I don't at all feel unfulfilled in my life. I have a super busy life and a very exciting life. I work all the time. I'm building my career. I have a really healthy social life and I have amazing friends. And I have a lot of time that I carve out for myself. I never feel lonely because I'm very secure. Also, in your 20s, every year is like a decade of growth. And then in my case, you add sobriety onto that. Like I am a different person than I was before I got sober. So any relationship that I tried to have before I knew who I was would have failed. I'm confident now that I would pick the right partner for myself, but I'm not in a rush. I think my faith is also instrumental in my attitude towards dating. There's a freedom in knowing that what is meant to happen will happen and that I don't need to stress or control or try and, meet people. Like I will meet my person at some point, whenever that is, Well, thanks for listening to my anti-dating advice. I'll let you guys know if I fall in love and meet the love of my life. Well, I won't let you know right away, but at some point. Bye.
Boys will really talk about the most traumatic experience they've ever had like 10 years ago that has completely derailed their life and like altered their ability to form any sort of meaningful connection. And meanwhile, it's just something that happens to me like every Tuesday.
Most attractive type of guy is the guy who genuinely just enjoys life and only focuses in on himself. Someone who goes to the gym regularly and not even just for your physical health, but also for your mental health. He has a good job. He likes to take care of himself. He's not on any of those like cringy hookup only like dating apps like Tinder or Hinge. He's honestly probably not on like any dating apps, but like if he is, it's gonna be intentional and genuine ones where you can only talk to one person at a time, like Cuffed. The type of guy who's not even like looking for a relationship, but if the right girl came up to him, like he would lock in on that. Guy who has hobbies, just genuinely loves enjoying life and the things he does. That is the most attractive type of man.
There are plenty of unstable women in this country. The first is a recovering alcoholic who's barely 24 years old and already carries that kind of baggage. The second one clearly needs therapy, but she hasn't even gone. And the third is out there hunting, not for a man, but for a high-value provider who can support her. Now imagine, brothers, a man with a future and goals having to choose between those three to start a family. It's sad, but that's the reality men face today, a dating market full of broken women. And to make matters worse, they turn around and tell you that you're the problem, when they were already damaged at home, carrying a whole load of problems that you're now expected to deal with.
I have an ex that was like so bad to me. We broke up years ago, but he was so bad to me that like people in my life still talk about it to this day. Not like all the time, obviously, but like it gets brought up randomly. Like I was with my friend Jake in the city, like, I don't know, a month or two ago. Jake's like, we're walking around. Jake's like, oh my God, is that your ex-boyfriend? I'm like, Jake, please, where? What do you mean? He's like, oh my God, I thought that was your ex-boyfriend. Like, I almost ran for my life. I'm like, what? You almost ran for your life? He's like, yeah, he got scared the shit out of me. Or like, I was at my parents' house, my dad's grilling, just be like, hey, thank God you're not still with you-know-who. Cheers to that. I'm like, oh my God, we broke up years ago, but it still gets brought up. Or like, say I'm dating someone, it doesn't work out. My whole family will be like, well, you know, it can't ever get as bad as you-know-who. Like, thank God for that. It's kind of funny, but like everyone's still traumatized. The second it's like, who has the worst ex? Everyone looks at me. I'm like, it was just the one time. Everyone else really liked me and treated me great. I don't know what happened with him, but it's kind of funny.
Here's the thing about Izzy Darnell's comment that men who date women who are over 110 pounds are chubby chasers. It's not the adults who are offended by this, because most adults know most adult women are clearly over 110 pounds. Unless you're like a short, skinny queen, there's nothing wrong with being under 110 pounds if you are healthy. But I'm 5'4", and when I was running 4 miles and only eating 700 calories a day, it wasn't a good time. I was still 117 pounds. And according to Izzy Darnell, I'm chubby. I was so chubby, and any man who wanted me would be a chubby chaser. And I think like that's a thing. I don't think most adults are getting offended by this just because it's so absurd. Like, it's offensive to even say it because it's just so crazy. But the adults aren't the problem. It's the teenage girls. And guess who Izzy Darnell's main demographic is? It's teenage girls. Teenage girls are already going through it. Do you know how hard it is to be a teenage girl? If you were ever a teenage girl, you know how hard it is to be a teenage girl. You are constantly comparing yourself to the girls around you that you know personally and to all the girls and the influencers that you see online. Now, I am so glad that I grew up in an era like super influencer, because I was already struggling seeing just the celebrities. Now it's the influencers too, and the influencers are telling you that if you are over 110 pounds, you are just chubby. As a grown adult with a fully matured brain, because I am 26 years old, I can listen to that statement and be like, that is so crazy. Okay. Scroll. But teenage girls are going to latch onto that, and they're really going to start like taking it to heart. And they're going to start thinking that I am fat if I am over 110 pounds, which is absolutely absurd. But if you're a teenage girl, it's not. When you are an influencer, you have to take responsibility for the things that you say and do, because your job is to influence others. If you have a demographic of teenage girls watching you, you need to especially make sure you're being careful what kind of content you put out there. And I know this was on a live, I know it was a candid moment, but you need to take responsibility for it because people saw it and now you've gone viral for saying this thing that's really, really awful and hurtful. I don't know. It just really upset me because I teach teenage girls and I already see how hard they struggle just from being a teenage girl. But now you have this added pressure of social media and influencers telling you that you need to be this very unattainable weight to be attractive and for men to like you. It's just so absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And I really hope that any teenage girl watching that, I really hope you don't take that to heart. And I really hope that you can see how absurd that is. That's just my 2 cents.
I can assure you, men, that she's going to go back to him because he's still burned into her mind. And that's why none of her new relationships work. It's that simple. Women become addicted to the man who gives them the biggest dopamine rush. And that's almost always the Chad. The guy who brings absolutely nothing to the table, but still triggers something inside her so strongly that she's willing to go against even her own family just to defend him. And the second woman is absolutely right. Gentlemen, most women today are interchangeable. as if they came out of the same factory mold. They don't realize that they talk the same, think the same, dress the same, and even chase the same filtered body. It's as if they've lost any trace of their own identity. That's why when you date one, you've basically already met the next 10 because they literally think the same. We've reached the end of the video. Before we go, here are the questions for you. Why do you think modern women are increasingly being rejected by men? As a man, what impression do you get when you see a woman covered in tattoos from head to toe? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.